Hello, I'm ABX Toycat and welcome back to another video. Today I'm showing you 5 alternative uses for enchantments in Minecraft. Every enchantment has a very clear stated purpose, such as protection, which allows you to take less damage if you put it on armor, or lure, which allows you to lure in fishes faster if you put it on a fishing rod. But a bunch of other enchantments have a kind of alternative use if you use them a different way, and I figured it'd be cool to share 5 of those with you in today's video. So hopefully you do all enjoy it. If you do, please do like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like it. But let's get straight into this one already, shall we? So let's start with the most obvious of all of these as kind of an example, because we're going to go from most obvious to least obvious, because basically it's to do with fire aspect or with the flame enchantment. So flame is for bows and fire aspect is for swords, because you can basically use this as an automatic furnace if you kill any non-hostile mob which actually drops meat from it. So yeah, this is something that a lot of you will already know, but like I mentioned, if you don't know it, it's so handy, because instead of having to kill your farm manually then put it in a furnace, you can just skip the entire furnace stage and just get cooked pork chops straight from the source, or get cooked beef, or get cooked anything this way. And it's so handy, because if you pair this with looting, instead of having like an entire stack of meat you have to cook, instead you can just get it straight from the source with cooked pork chops, with cooked food. And I just think that's a really handy thing right there. So yeah, fire aspect plus thing equals pretty good. And also, just in case you don't want to see from the bow too, if you use a flame bow or anything like that, it will give them cooked pork chops, because if any meat-based mob dies while it's on fire, it will give you pork chops instead. And you can use flint still, but it's much better to use fire aspect. And it's kind of bizarre to a lot of people. It's like, so have a fire aspect sword at my animal farm? Yep, that's what you need to do. So the second tip here is actually to fortune. Fortune is a enchantment lots of people use on their pickaxes to get more diamonds from blocks and stuff. And the clever thing to do with fortune here is a lot of people figured that, oh, so we use fortune on crops, that's kind of handy, so they'll get a fortune shovel. You never need to ever make a fortune shovel, because pretty much everything a fortune shovel can get, your pickaxe can get too. And the really clever thing about this is you can actually make a fortune pickaxe, get yourself some diamonds or get anything like that, and then when you use it for once it goes down to 1 durability, instead of just using it until it dies, then move it to your farm. So if you have a 1 durability diamond pickaxe, or 2 or 3 or whatever, then basically if you use it on any of your crops, you'll get more from them. So again, like 5 or 6 potatoes each time. What was that? 4 potatoes that gave us 22, or 5 that gave us 22. Really crazy stuff, right? And it's clever because it doesn't use up any of the pickaxe, which means the best farming tool is just a reused pickaxe. It's kind of like, once you're done with using it for real, you can use it in your farm, and it means you never have to make a shovel. And basically the alternative use here that I'm trying to talk about is that because it will never use durability, you can use your old tools and you'll never have to make, a fortune axe or a fortune thing. Alternatively, if you want something else that's a little bit bizarre here, you can also use a fortune pickaxe or a fortune shovel to mine gravel, and you have a 100% chance of getting flint instead of a chance of getting gravel, 90% chance of gravel, 10% chance of flint, which is bizarre. But if you really need flint because you're making like an arrow thing and you don't want to make it from skeletons, then you can do it this way. So yeah, easy way to get flint, use fortune on gravel. It's a very bizarre thing to do, but it's something you can do to save yourself some time there. So yeah, fortune on farms, pretty handy. Fortune on gravel, I'm not so sure about that, but that's something you can entirely do. So the next one here is to do with the feather falling enchantment. So feather falling is well known, so we actually put this on right now. So feather falling is quite a well-known enchantment because it allows you to take less falling damage. So this should do like 2 or 3 hearts of damage, but instead it's going to do 1.5, and it reduces your falling damage by quite a bit. But the second thing it does that isn't immediately obvious, because it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, is it actually saves you from ender pearl damage too. So as we all know, or as a lot of us know, an ender pearl does roughly 2.5 hearts of damage to you normally, and it's not protected by armor. However, it is protected by the feather falling enchantment, so 2.5 hearts goes down to, in this case, just half a heart, and sometimes it's 1 heart. And yeah, that's a really handy thing, because if you want to ender pearl around the place, which by the way, it's a really amazingly fast form of transport, what you can just do is you can just fire ender pearls, and if you have feather falling boots, you can get a way of doing that. So here's me ender pearl across the map, and now we should probably ender pearl back, and we can do that just fine, because normally 4 ender pearls, or I guess by the time you get to the 4th you'll regenerate, but 4 ender pearls will kill you. With feather falling boots on, you can take more like 10, which is amazing, especially if you're trying to get in or out of something, because ender pearls are a great escape mechanism. But let's say the person following you has them too. If you have a feather falling boots, you can escape and they can't, and that's also pretty handy. Also, because the fact that it means that for instance, you're in a high fall, if you're not sure you can make it and you don't want to take the hearts, then unlike other people who, even if they ender pearl, take 2.5, you can be like, well, I'm down the ground and ready to fight. So yeah, these are really great because ender pearls are pretty awesome by themselves, but they also have the handy benefit of making it so that if someone else has them, you've got the upper hand. And feather falling is pretty awesome for that reason. So the 4th alternate use here is actually to do with the respiration enchantment. So I'm pretty sure this is a recent thing because I haven't seen this before, but it's a very subtle difference, because respiration, as we all know, allows allows you to breathe underwater for longer. That's its main stated use, and one thing you might not have known is the fact that actually when you start taking water damage, so we'll actually go down to that level, when you actually start taking choking damage, so if we all get all the way down there, then put it back on, it actually increases the duration between each one. So we'll choke for a little bit normally, and then we'll put the helmet on. This is really dangerous. We probably shouldn't be doing this, but yeah, we'll choke for a little bit, and you can see it's like every second like that. But if you put the respiration helmet on, it delays that by quite a bit. So then we take some damage, and then a little bit more, we'll take some more damage, and it means you can actually survive underwater just about fine, because, you're actually healing up faster as well as taking less damage, which means that you can survive underwater even with no oxygen for quite some time. The second kind of secret thing, again, I think this is from the most recent update, is the fact that you can actually see better underwater with a respiration helmet on. Kind of like a water breathing potion, if you put this on, you can see better underwater. So, just as a handy thing, if you want to get supervision, just get yourself a respiration helmet. I still think water breathing is better in every way, but, if you want to take less choking damage when you do run out, so, you just feel that little bit safer because, something might go wrong, then that's the respiration might arguably be better in that way. I think respiration and water breathing is the ultimate safety net, though, because respiration only really, the only real benefit it gives is the choking thing, but that's something you might not have known. You might think it's entirely useless. It does technically help you with choking, which is, I guess, a real issue in Minecraft these days. So yeah, that's something you can do there. So besides respiration helping you with choking damage and that stuff, let's move on to the last one here, which is to do with looting. So this is, again, kind of a sneaky use for looting, because you might think that looting, which is on this sword by the way, only works when you kill someone with the looting sword, and that is kind of true, but it's only true, the game actually has a kind of weird quirk in it that means if you kill something and then the looting sword out, then it means you don't have to ever use durability on it, but you can still get the looting effect. So for instance, let's spawn a pig. This is really tricky to pull off. So a pig normally gives you 1 to 3 pork chops. In this case, it'll be cooked pork chops, but if we can switch out just fast enough, you'll see that we'll actually get when it kills it is, let's go with this count. Okay, that's 2 pork chops. I'll show you some gameplay on screen just in case this doesn't work out. But one of the cool things is as long as your sword is out when the damage hits, so when you hit a ghast, for instance, if you hit anything with a bow, as long as your sword is out when you hit them, you'll actually be able to, there we go, I think that's going to be our proof right there. Okay, that's just free. But yeah, basically, as long as the sword is out when the damage is done, it will count as looting being on that. So you can basically get looting on a bow for free by just, if you just have your bow like normal, and then you do this. So I'm not actually getting more than 3 right now, but like again, I tested this a long time. Okay, there we go. 5 from 1 pig without using our looting sword once. So you can make looting last forever in the same way you can make fortune last forever by just having a bow to go along with it. It doesn't need to be enchanted in any way. I mean, if for pigs, of course, you'd rather it would be a flame bow, but you can use a regular old bow, and this means you can get more, ghast tears from ghast. If you want regeneration potions, you can get more drops from any mobs, and if you just want to get more, if you want to use looting on anything, you can use it for free, and that's an alternative use you might not have known about. So let me know what you did think about today's video. I know it's a little bit of a different one, and some people will be like, oh, that's not really alternative or this or this, but yeah, I'd like to hear your opinions on it in the comments down below. I'm always curious to hear your feedback, and otherwise, please do like the video if you did like it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you are new around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.